Hey everybody, it's Andy here, aka Montolio, and we're back for Vintage League, and we're playing a fun one today. We're going to play Lutri. Lutri the Spell Chaser as our companion, which means there is a very heavy price to play this guy, and whether it's worth it or not, well, it definitely is not, but we're going to have a bit of fun. And the idea behind this card is that every permanent that you have in play, every spell has to be a different card. So each non-land card in your starting deck has a different name. And so the price of that is we don't have 4 Force of Wills, which is problematic. But we've got a lot of bombs in our deck, and this deck can win. There was a player, I believe it was um, Budakov, one of the MOCS champions on Magic Online, who was doing really well with this deck, was actually winning challenges and stuff like that a couple of years ago. And of course, I don't think that this deck is good, but we're going to try it out. We're going to have a little bit of fun, and we're going to see if we can piece together some of these bullets that we're running and have some success. So if you haven't done so already, guys, please do like, comment, subscribe. Click that button down in the right corner of your screen, and we're going to see you in round one. Okay, here we are, round one. I won the die roll, and let's reveal our Lutri. Well, can buy the Planeswalker, cast it. This hand is not very good. No, we have to do better than this. This is a much nicer looking hand. I think we just put one of our lands away here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lead on Urza Saga. And we're going to buy Lutri. I do apologize. I've got a setting on my mouse here. I don't know, for whatever reason. It's the most bizarre thing. It just automatically is highlighting everything I click on. See? Let's try this out here. And we can sit back on Saga, and if that doesn't work, we have Academy. Okay, so they're coming after my lands. So this is only 4 mana. Do I flash Lutri? Let's first of all see what we have here. It has to be blue-based. We have black already. We have red. Tundra are 2 completely different colors. I think I am going to flash it and just kind of get going here. I realize this is fairly impotent, but my opponent has all these lands in hand. But if they fetch and they kill this with a fatal push, I'm okay with that because it means I have a better opportunity to resolve Lorn Revealed. This does allow me to play around um, Spell Pierce. It doesn't beat negation, of course. Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's take a peek here and see what they're up to. was a nice draw. Okay. Probably under city sewers, no? Vampiric, okay. They're going for Lavinia here. Lavinia is reasonable against what we're doing with what we currently have in our hand here. Okay. This thing with my mouse is actually legit driving me crazy. Okay. Well, Caracas was really nice here for us. This also sends back Lutri to our hand, which is pretty powerful. I'm going to see if they want to trade here. I know this is a little bit greedy, because I don't really want my Lutri to die, but... Oh, I cannot cast that, so I probably am just going to need to send this back to their hand, and I am going to do it now. Time Walk's a nice one. I like Mentor, too. Yeah, those are the two I'm going to take. I already played my land for the turn, so we'll pass. Yep. And then probably just a Swords to Plowshares is my guess here. Yep. Not going to even look with the top, but it doesn't matter. I'm not... I guess where that would have been better is if I had a misstep on top, but the likelihood of that is pretty low. Okay, those are all good things. Demonic Tutor is gone. Extremely powerful setup here from us. I'm going to attack with Lutri. Probably bring it back to my hand. Okay, we have a lot of mana here, so we can definitely return Lutri to my hand. I should be able to do all this. I haven't truly thought the math out, but that's okay, I think. This is definitely a lot of mana. The question is, do I want the double Time Walk or the double Ancestral? And probably just double Ancestral, I think, is pretty good here. They conceded, okay. All right, so we're playing against Luris, the Esper version. Okay, but don't think we really need to do anything here. Lutri 1-0 over the Titaness Lurrus. I will take it. Even if we don't win another game, we got one against Lurrus. Yeah, this hand is fine. We've got two pieces of pseudo insurance and misstep and mind break trap turn one. Let's see if there's an ancestral here. Okay. I think the black is less valuable here because we have the Mox. Well, presuming the Mox resolves. I don't think I want a PO here, but there is a world where I could conceive doing that. But I prefer to wait probably a turn or two. They did not fetch. Probably a wasteland is my guess here. Yeah, this is one of the reasons we got to be careful. It's like Bowmaster is up now. Okay, they are doing it. And I will PO here if they Bowmaster. Obviously a little bit unfortunate because I don't have Flusterstorm up, but it is what it is. Bowmaster, yeah. What do we got in our current board here? Not much. Pithing Needle. And it would just die if I did that. Comes in as 5 minus 2, 3, so it wouldn't be dead. Yeah, just Time Walk here. I think I'm going to Time Walk. I think if they had a counterspell, they would have stopped my PO. Now, not 100%, but probably. Wouldn't mind a land here. Twister is not good. I think I'm going to play Karn. So Mr. Grimoire does seem pretty good here. Maybe I just play Remora and next turn. The only thing is I do want to protect from Wasteland. I think it's worth it. I don't know. Maybe I do play Remora. I'm not 100% sure. I do have Misstep. Yes, I would like to use it. I think I'm going to get Pithing Needle here. I'm penciling into playing that if that's what I do, because I do want to protect from Wasteland. This goddamn thing, I don't know what it is. Alright, Wasteland. Was named that. And, yep, here we go. Not a bad turn. There's a lot of decisions in this deck because there's a lot of card choices. Our shields are down here. Okay, good choice. Coming after Karn. They have another Bowmaster. Yeah, not much I can do about that. Okay, so they're going to get Karn. Okay, they did not deal me a damage there. They could have. Okay, Misty Rainforest is decent. The bad thing for us is we just don't really have anything going, right? Yeah, I honestly don't know what to do here with my mouse. I've never had something like this. It's like jammed. Oh, interesting. I do think I remember more of that. Or negate it via Flusterstorm. Like, I just think we are losing, and we do need to do something here. I can get in front of it with Lutri at some point. We'll see. These Bowmasters have somewhat stifled my hand here. Well, we have a lot of creatures in our deck. Lurrus, okay. I'm going to pay. Saga was actually legit here. Do I pull Lutri? Or sit up on Mindbreak Trap? I don't know. Mindbreak Trap's probably fine. Where this becomes a little bit of a disaster is if they find Strip Mine, but I think that's what we're doing here is fine. We're not going to be casting Lutri for a number of turns if things go well here for us. Our Saga is going to do some work. Yeah, Saga was a nice draw there. They do have Lurrus here. So they're probably going to cast Lurrus, taking 4. Yeah. Still think we pay. Force of Will was actually decent. Okay. Well, I mean, we're still on the clock here. They're going to continue to clock us. I think they're probably all in here just trying to deal me damage and letting my Mana Volt finish me, but I do have a key in my deck as well, which I may have to end up getting. Yeah. And they probably have removal here, but we're going to be able to counter them, and we're going to draw cards off Remora, which is really great for us. I feel like I need to kill the Bowmaster and take the extra 2 here. Yeah. I just need to get rid of these Bowmasters. No, I can't pay for the Remora now. It's too bad the way these triggers go. Like this is during my main phase because if I could get key and untap this, I just would absolutely love to keep the Mystic Remora around. But I gotta get I need a construct here, right? Yeah, it was a good draw. And we will continue to make constructs here. And we're going to go get a Mana Vault key. So they do have the swords. I don't really want to pay the life, right? Turns Force of Will off. Just this sets me up to get hit by Pierce. We just probably want to get a key, right? I think so. I mean, I can start attacking. Do I attack here? I don't think so. I just feel like my life is very fragile. And with Force of Will in my hand here, I just really don't want to put myself not to be able to use it. And yes, I do have key construct as well, but I guess I do off agent here. So we're just going to attempt to try and tinker right now. Actually, the mana vault is I would just sack the mana vault here. I think the likelihood that they have this covered is pretty low. Been a long time since I've done this. All right, nice win over Luris, guys. We'll take that one. Okay. On the die roll. We like that. Now, we're very likely to be playing against Bug. We don't quite have the turn 2 Lauren revealed set up here. But I feel like this is reasonable. Being on the play, I think, is important here. It is possible my opponent just goes turn 1 Collector Roof. I mean, there's not much I'm going to do about that, but the question is, do I probe? Because if they have a turn 1 Collector Roof, no. I think I'm going to do it. I don't think I need to be greedy here. Let's see what they're on. They definitely have turn 1 Collector Roof. That's actually a very powerful opener. Don't really want to do this, but they're definitely going to slam. I just think it's an opportunity for me to get a land here. Like, that card's pretty dead. We've got white source already. I guess I get a black source here. Yeah, like that's, my opponent's definitely high rolling with that hand. So they're holding up Spell Pierce here, which makes sense. I think they meant green. What they draw here? Maybe this just is not a traditional bug deck. Is it something like they have Tinker? No. Okay. Cannot play around Spell Pierce here. You just have to be patient. I'm probably going to just flash Lutri out if they do this. Holding Bowmasters up instead. Okay. Just so you know, guys, I'm not highlighting each card. My mouse is doing this automatically on me. So, can I play around Spell Pierce here? One, it's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8. I can. Funny enough, I could almost Lutri here, but it's not going to work. They probably have a force here anyways, but we're playing to our outs the best we can. Okay, I feel okay about that. Now I think they'll slam the youth because we have the extra mocks here, which makes sense. Yep. So we are losing this one here. But these are not super impactful plays my opponent's making. Another Bowmaster? No. We unfortunately do have to flash in here. I will go after the youth if I'm allowed. They may have just a second collector roof here to back it up. I don't know, but they do. Okay. Okay, against Bug. This seems pretty good, doesn't it? I can see Archon Absolution. They're attacking me more than I'm attacking them. I can see a Dismember being relevant. Pithing Needle. Having a lot of lag issues here. Don't think Mindbreak Trap is likely at its best here. Remora is probably not at its best. Time Vault combo is not incredible, but against Bowmaster, but I think it's a reasonable win condition. 61. What do I want to cut here? Karn is pretty meh. Yeah, I think Karn's pretty mediocre. Let's try this. This deck is a lot of fun to play. It's almost like Canadian Highlander, right? You just don't. Every single card is different. We're not playing the 100 cards, obviously. Or what do they call it? EDH or Commander or whatever. Okay, let's see if we can have a little bit of a better game here. Yeah, probably okay. I think we'll brainstorm here just right away, see what we got. And my opponent has the misstep or they want a negation, and I'm totally fine with that. Yeah, not great, eh? I mean, funny enough, I can hard cast this next turn if they don't go crazy on me. All right. Well, I am going to play some of this stuff out. And the reason is I want to have an opportunity to cast that next turn. I haven't done the math fully, but I believe it does actually work. No Rod seems pretty good here, Collector Roof, doesn't it? I mean, this is not supposed to be how my deck works here, just so turbo, but it is what it is. Yeah, I don't have black manning here. I guess I have a fetch on top. Deathrite pass. Okay, this is good for me. Yeah, I mean, I think we can cast this. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, if they have a daze, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. No, this is 8. All right, let's see if they let a dark ritual resolve. They're gonna think I have a citadel here. They did let it go. Plays around days even this way. They may be thinking I'm casting a citadel here and not have force of will and be holding negation. And if that's the case, this is a very powerful card. I think the only card in their deck that beats it is Beseiju. They are playing still. Brainstorm, okay. collector roof here. Yep. Yep. Excuse me. So they didn't answer it there. I realize they have the wasteland here, but we're going to try and flash Lutri in. Oko? Frog. So that actually can get in front of the Sphinx here. If it makes them discard 2 cards or 1 card, to me it's worth it. Lutri's doing nothing here. Yeah, it's got to be 2 if they want to keep it alive. All right, well, we're not winning this. Frog is one of the few ways that I didn't really think about that they could maybe get out of this. They can make their guy bigger than mine. Red and green, yeah. It costs them everything in their hand, but it does actually make my play nullified, so I can't actually attack. If I can ever get this collector roof off the table, it's pretty big. Because I can make my guy unblockable. And I honestly have no idea what's in my deck that could get me out of this, but I don't know what we have. I guess it's just Citadel, right? I mean, my opponent still has 4 cards, but if they're countering this, then it means I can attack. My last 100, but I mean, we're going to do it. I don't think it really matters. A lot of life to play with here. Yeah, this should seal it. Put this on Frog. Oh, okay. Okay, that was an impressive win there. I didn't think they were going to be able to get... First of all, us holding on to Sphinx and realizing we could cast it, and the feint with the Dark Ritual, them probably sitting on a negation and resolving the Sphinx was awesome. Obviously, could have backfired hugely, but then we thought we had the game locked, and Frog, I guess, changes the dynamics of that match in a way I haven't seen since I've last cast Sphinx of the Steel Wind, in that it can get in front of a Sphinx and kill it. But then we found a way into Tinker and to Citadel with a lot of life. It was pretty awesome. Could see Meddling Mage come in. I don't know what I want to cut here. Kind of like every card, to be perfectly honest with you. Meddling Mage is pretty neat. Putting on an Oko or something like that. These are all reasonable cards, every single one of them. Too risky even for me. Oh no. All right. Guess we go for. Can't actually do a Tinker. Demonic Tutor here. What does this do? Okay. Deathrite? No. Interesting. Ancestral, probably. That's the only reason you do that. That was honestly, they could have. Most people fetch during your turn, a little bit weird, but oh, that seemed felt like an F6. Okay. 7. Ooh, I'm 1 mana away. That's okay. We're gonna cast this. Felt pretty good about that. I'm not happy to see the Mox. Ooh, Mox, Mox. Ooh, yuck, yuck. Okay. Wow. Mm-hmm. We're not beating this. There's no way. Just, I mean, it's kind of an ongoing joke. That Bug just has 3 Moxen and 1 Lotus in their deck, and they always seem to find some combination of multiples in their opening hands. And I realize my opponent Ancestral here, but it's kind of crazy, right? And Bug is a very powerful deck when it's doing stuff like that. When it's playing a little bit more on the fair side of things, it is grindy and can lose to broken decks. But when it does this, it's pretty hard to beat. Okay, Frog. It's not so bad. We just want to dodge a Wasteland and a Oof here if we can. Yeah, Bowmasters was a really good one here because it negates my Time Twister, which was my powerful play. I may end up having to do it, to be perfectly honest with you. Okay, they have not played a land yet of note. Okay. Well, I think out of all things that could have happened, that was pretty much one of the best case scenarios for me. That was a bad draw. Well, I do think we time twist here. I'm going to play the Saga. I do die. I mean, they're probably not going to let this resolve, but I'm going to do it anyways. Do I Lutri first? No. Okay, pretty powerful. They should have discarded the 2 cards to the frog. Yeah, wrong colored mana. It's too bad this is in my hand. I could Lutri and cast Lutri. Doesn't work. I can Bowmaster their guy here. That doesn't do much for me though. Not good, guys. Not good. Wasteland is going to happen next turn. So is Collector Roof with all likelihood. Just get a recall here. This deck has felt really good here. I mean, I ran into some trouble this game. In particular, my opponent had Mox Lotus off an Ancestral, but outside of that, I feel like our deck has, we mulligan to 5 this game, like, has done really well. Hopefully it's not a double Bowmaster here, because we are dead if that's the case. We're very close to death regardless of what happens here, but if I can get in front of this orc army. I'm still playing Magic a little bit here. very fortunate to still be playing Magic here. They could have Time Walk as well, which of course does kill me too. 3 cards left in hand. Okay, so they're holding negation. Or just drains. We just can't play around anything here. They probably have an answer, but we just have to do it. They have Bowmaster, but hmm? Don't think any of these do it. I can shut off Deathrite. I can get in front of this, but that's pretty much all that I can do. Cannot currently dig. And I do not have a white mana. 4, 5, 6, still 2 away from Sphinx. Yeah. That cost Narset. Alright. Well, that was a pretty cool game, guys. Mulligan to 5, and I felt like we were playing Magic there still. That PO would have been so... Well, actually, it wouldn't have with this, but the Bowmaster. But, alright, see you next round. Okay. See what we're up against here. Better. I don't know what we're playing against here, but it's aggressive on my part, but I'm not going to play around Wasteland here. Play around Negation, though. Okay, they didn't have it. Sweet. Still playing Magic. Cantrip here? Do they have their own Ancestral? That would be unfortunate. See, they can't be as suspicious for Bowmasters when you're playing Lutri, but they're going to wasteland me here anyways, so I am going to do it. I could sit back on it, but I'm wanting to brainstorm this turn to clean out the Manifold Key in another land. So we'll do this, and if they have a foil to it, then I think it's fine. Love that art. It is a pretty sick bow. Another option is we could pull Lutri to hand here, get a double brainstorm. Typically don't think that's very good. Okay, they did wasteland us. I'm going to see a swords out of them. Well, now, okay. Was not expecting that. Wish I had waited on that then. Not bad. Play around the Lydian Hex Catcher. Hmm. They are down to 4 cards here, so there is a chance that I resolve this Shieldred next turn. And then we can fall back on Tinker otherwise. I do acknowledge that this Hex Catcher is somewhat of a problem for resolving something like Tinker, but ooh, it's just going to let me get their Hex Catcher? I think it is. Well, that's so good for me. Okay, I feel good about that. Oh, that was just so sweet. Okay, well, guess we probably want to dismember, and I could see the Archon being relevant. My mouse is just doing unbelievably wacky things. I don't even know what to say. Red and green. I mean, Mystic Remora is actually Mystic Remora is probably no, it's not great, is it? I actually don't mind Probe. I think Karn is reasonable here. Op Agent is probably not at its best. That said, it does ambush. Flusterstorm, probably fine. Okay, Gitaxian Probe is just being my whipping boy here. Let's try this. Yeah, nice. Okay. Definitely keeping this. I don't think I'm going to pick fights over the Lydian Hex catchers and things like that. The Mox is good, sure. Yeah, they did have Ancestral here. That sucks because I've got the Narset. That does even the playing field quite a bit here. Okay, well, I'm just going to get about my business here. Not playing around anything. So they definitely have counter magic here. I could hardcast the Archon here. Not very good, though. I mean, the truth of the matter is there's not much I can do here. It's just really awkward. But if this resolves, it's awesome. I don't think it will, but if it does, I'm happy about it. I am holding up blue mana here like I've got a counter, so my opponent might choose to let it go. They did. Okay, well, that's convenient for me. Any Mox? Okay, Lotus Petal. Non-creature. I guess I just want the Lotus Petal here. Brainstorm is good in a world where I don't have much going. But that's okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play out the Petal here. And I'm going to try and cast this Archon. And if they want to counter this, I can live with it. That was pretty good turn one. They might force a will this one here, realizing that this is going to be a pain for them to try and kill me. Now they may have Swords to Plowshares in the deck. There might be a blue-white version. They've had the Mox Opal here twice, or the Mox Pearl. They're thinking about this. They are forcing. Okay. It's funny they let Narset go. Force of will. Okay. They still have a mitt full over there. That ancestral was just so good that they had. Mhm. Yep, definitely gonna Narset here. Oh, there's my academy. Problem is, if I play the island, it gives them map, gives them island walk, and I'd love to be able to get in front of this thing. Okay. I mean, maybe I just don't worry about it. Maybe I just do that. I don't know. Let's see what happens next turn. Let's see what we draw. We don't need to be in a rush because we're in a position now where Lutri can actually potentially get some value. Okay, glad I did that. I mean, my break trap can stop that, but I'm not in a position to hard cast my break trap. Yep, not even worried about the Narset. Where that's dangerous for my opponent is if I find a twist effect. Okay. I think I do this right now. Get a black. I think this works. All right. Looks like that might have worked. Okay. Still playing Magic here. Big play from Lutri there. That's the most impactful we've had Lutri be so far. Yep. Sure. They're hellbent. Okay. Now I do have a mana crypt on the table here. Long ways away from casting that. Can't do anything there. Although Shieldred is one of the few cards that can find me out of this situation from a life perspective. And these are all great cards. How would a Tolarian Academy for me be? Whew. So I am one blue source away. I realize we are on the clock here with our mana crypt, but so they did find the flash guy here. Yeah, I can ambush this. It will cost me my land to do it, but actually that's not true if I get a basic, which I would. Let's see what they do. I'm presuming they're attacking, but they know I have Lutri in hand. Okay. No complaints out of me here. They can hardcast a force. That is something they could do here. Jeez, okay. This does set up a wheel. If I can find the demonic or black source. Probably have to go get Tinker though. 50% on flips here. Now down one. We have one flip left. We need a black source right now. Yikes. Okay, well. It is what it is. We decided to play the Mana Crypt, and we didn't need to, and we've taken 9 damage from the Mana Crypt. And feeling pretty stable in this game. Okay, they did find a flash guy. Okay, Hull Breacher gets me, yeah. Alright, well. Um... I like where I'm at. This deck has been a lot of fun to play. Maybe I do play Remora. Unlikely to happen because my Deck is so screwed up here. Didn't get it in time. Okay. So the mana is a little bit awkward on this one. Don't if I get a basic island, it's really suboptimal, right? I'm gonna get a swamp. I feel like just playing around it is not a winning strategy for me. And if they force this and wasteland me, like, yeah, it sucks, but excuse me. Yeah, they had the Lotus. Damn. I was just about to say if I can get my Lavinia down before they do any fast mana, it's really powerful. True name. Yeah, that's a scary one. That is a scary one. Hmm. Gonna get double black here and try and get the Shieldred into play. Look, guys, it may work, it may not work. And we're probably dead if it doesn't work. But if it does, I feel like this gives us our best chance to win. And yes, I could try and put Lavinia into play to protect myself from counters, but then I'm not much farther away from actually casting Shieldred because I don't have double black. There's a high probability I get wastelanded this following turn, and this at least lets me hold up Orcish Bowmasters the following turn. So they did have the force. Yeah, like this is a byproduct of a Lotus, right? Lotus true name is very good. Yeah, see, they had the wasteland and the Mox. Okay, well, not optimal for me. Catcher. Okay. My Citadel's in my hand, which is really bad. I guess a Lotus helps here. Okay. Fast mana is something. I feel like despite this is really suboptimal, I'm gonna flash this thing right now. Just get this going. Um, the strip mine is not really what I want to be doing because I'm not winning the race that way, but I feel like we have a pretty good chance of finding another land, being able to get Lutri into hand here. And we're not really racing right now, but key would be good. Okay. What does that mean? What could I do with that? Tinker for, like, does the One Ring do anything? Not really. I think it just has to be Ancestral, to be perfectly honest with you. It's bad, but Cavern, okay. Do not have time to set Tinker up. I am dead next turn, but... Well, guys, it didn't end up working out great. Swords does not do it. Mentor can't do it. I only have 2 mana to work with. I think it just got to be Ancestral. They likely have it covered, but there's not much I can do. And this is lethal next turn, so let's see what we can get. So I get into my main. Just in. All right. Okay, we'll reveal our Lutri. Okay. We did not win the die roll, unfortunately. That would have been pretty sick had we been able to try and jam that turn 1, but this is what I signed up for. Turn 1 Shieldred. My opponent thinking hard on their mulligan there. Okay. Island. Ancestral, no? See if they want this. They could get it with a Pierce. I am going to attempt to do it, guys. I don't know what they're playing, but they're playing blue. And Shieldred's pretty good. Brainstorm, okay. It's in. Oh, oaf. Yeah. Dismember main. Whoa. Excuse me. Yep. Okay. I mean, I made my play. Main deck Dismember on an oath, eh? Kind of sucks because I want the top for the for the potential to draw when Citadel's in play. But it is what it is. Do I play around Spell Pierce again? I don't think so. Because I want the land drop off Citadel. It's a bit greedy, but I don't even know what I want to get here. What do I want to get? Get a Monastery Mentor seems pretty good. Wow! Why would they concede there? That's so weird. Okay, well, you bring it. They've conceded the match. Look, when you're playing Lutri, you take your wins where you can get them. Okay, guys, dignity round. Can we pull out a 3-2 with this deck? I'm going to keep this a little bit shaky, but actually it's not that shaky. Saga makes this tick here. I mean, we can't really pull Lutri here. It would give me Force of Will in addition to Mind Break, but that's okay. Okay, good. Any response? Does not look like it. We have another fetch, so I don't think it matters. Hmm. Do I just get a Manifold Key here? It's not bad, actually. No. I don't feel like I need to pump it up with the Mana Vault here. This feels like Doomsday. And I would imagine Doomsday to be a pretty tough match for us in general. Because we don't have the redundancy of important counter spells, but okay. Undercity Sewers, is this Reanimate? They do have 8 cards in their hand, so we're probably not winning a counter war, but maybe. Doomsday. I do think I let this resolve because I'm planning on trying to win this next turn. Quite easily, as a matter of fact. But they are tapped out. It will require 2 Force of Wills to stop what I have here, or a Force of Will in a Daze, which is possible. Excuse me. what I can do. So they try and draw their card here or whatever. Unless they have a Lotus in their hand, then that changes things significantly. I probably just force that straight up. Okay, so here's their card draw. I'm going to counter that. They have their own force of will with all likelihood. And then that turns on my trap. Damn. Okay. As I said, they did have a mitt full there, but let's see if this is enough. Like if they stack Lotus on the top and they have another cantrip in hand to be able to dig into the Ancestral. They did find Lotus, okay. Maybe should have done this with my Lotus so I had the extra fetch to do this. I think it matters. Wow. Wow, that was sick, guys. What a stack battle. I mean, we got really lucky to be in that game. There's no doubt about that, but I think we probably could do with a Stony Silence here. Our Surgical Extraction seems good. We've got a Archive Trap here. We've got a Meddling Mage. Null Rod. Maybe a Pithing Needle. Wow, that was crazy. Okay, well. What did we cut here? In truth, I kind of just think we've got a decent set of tools going here. I think we can probably cut Vault Key. Don't mind the key as much, but I don't think Swords to Plowshares is really what I'm looking for in this matchup. I know I'm a little bit light on removal in general, but not a little bit, a lot. Mystic Remora, very good. Mystical Tutor could be vital for us, but it does set up Tinker. We need to cut three things. I guess Probe, just always one of the cards I cut. It's just an easy one. It's just a card that cycles. Probably can cut a basic island. And we need to cut one more here. I think Needle is just pretty weak in general. Okay. Yep. I mean, can't do much better than this. Now, the Stony Silence is pretty awkward, right? The way my hand's currently set up. But being on the draw makes this a little bit more viable. Let's see. Okay. They're probably going to take Narset or Hull Breacher here. One of those two would be my guess, but maybe they're worried about the Stony Silence as well. Stony Silence is very powerful against them. I may end up having to do it turn one and not liking it. Interesting. Not bad. Like, I have a pretty anti-doomsday hand right now. Like, it'll be hard for my opponent to necessarily beat this, but we do need land. Like, we've got three distinct counters here, right? Uh, yeah. Yeah, I think I fight on this in the stack. I think what ends up happening here, guys, is I do have three pieces of solid interaction. They only have three cards in their hand here. So if I find a land that casts Stony Silence here, I cast that, taking them off of their Lotus. I mean, you don't necessarily need the Lotus in this situation. We'll see if they get it. But trying to win on the stack here is not crazy. And I expect they're going to try and go off right now. So that's two spells. I do have the trap up. So they do have the Lotus. And are they on Ancestral? Looks like they are. They're not doing it right now. All right. So we're going to need a bit of help. We did hit. Okay. Feel pretty good about that. And in their upkeep, I am going to battle over this Surgical. I'm going to, well, battle insofar as that in their upkeep, I'm going to Surgical their Doomsday, and I'm going to try and shuffle their pile. I don't think we're going to win this game, but we're going to try. Did they have any oracles? They only have the one oracle, or did they do it two? They've got two. Yeah, so they're thinking long and hard about this. I kind of need this to resolve to have any chance. It's been a long time since I've cast a Stony Silence, I can tell you that much. My opponent's thinking about this hard. So it's obviously very impactful. I mean, how lucky was that ripping a Caracas to be able to cast the Stony Silence? Pretty awesome. Hmm. Wombo Wizard. Oh, they let it resolve. Okay. I'm going to do this in their upkeep here. So I cannot stop this. So they're going to draw. I'm going to have to counter whatever it is they do here. Or attempt to, anyways. Oh, wow. They're playing Legacy version. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I can't stop that. They're just going to Ancestral on my upkeep here. That's pretty smart. Land? No, they had it. Okay. Yep. Some way they play into a mind break, but no. Yeah, there it was. Yeah, I felt like we put up a pretty good fight there, like all in all. But as I said in the intro of this particular match, like we are heavily outgunned, and I feel like our deck has been performing at a very high efficiency rate with reference to being able to combat what they're doing here. That's how it feels, anyways. I mean, as you can see, a lot of my cards are pretty good against what they're doing. Op Agent is there. We've got Archive Trap. The Singleton Mindbreak, Force of Will, Force of Negation. We've got the Surgical. We've got Null Rod. We've got Stony Silence. We've got Lavinia. Pretty good. We still got Hull Breacher. We got Tinker we can go off with. Excuse me. Mystic Remora. Like there's a number of cards in our deck. More than a number, a lot of them. But of course they're all bullets, and it requires us to have them and be able to cast them. The only downside to our last game was is that we didn't have any mana. We got very lucky being able to employ that Stony Silence. Okay, guys, all the marbles. Let's see what we can do. Okay. I mean, it's got no control to it, but we've got a Shieldred. I'm going to attempt to get an Ancestral. I guess we could also get a Tinker, but that's not super likely to resolve. What I could do again, guys, is I could get it a Dark Ritual and set this up for turn 2, and my opponent, feeling snarky, lets it resolve knowing they have negation for my Citadel. They probably won't do that, though. That's the only thing. But I mean, if they have the answer, they have the answer. There's just nothing I can do about that. I don't know that it's necessary to do that. I think I go for a much higher impact spell than what I have here. Okay. Probably should have cycled first here, but that's okay. If they counter this, it's amazing. My question is, what do I get? I don't feel like I get a Dark Ritual here. I feel like Ancestral's just probably my best bet. I could get Counter Magic as well. My opponent's thinking about this one. Maybe they're double queued now. In truth, I might need to just get something like a Time Walk and let them wonder if it's benign enough for them to counter. I could see them countering it, and that's okay because that sets us up for a Lauren revealed into Shieldred the following turn. I don't hate it. Okay, let's see what we got here. I think I like Time Walk. I think there's an argument for Flusterstorm too, but I'm really banking on this. Let's see if Time Walk resolves. They are going to negate it. Okay. Just Fluster, yeah, it does work. And they're going to force it. Okay. Hopefully they can't dig here. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. I guess they could with Street Wraith. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a lot of decisions to make in this deck, and I mean, they would have Ancestral before this if I had have gotten Flusterstorm almost assuredly, but chances have gone down exponentially for sure. My opponent is double queued here. I do apologize. I know this is a bit of a painstaking experience for you guys trying to watch the crescendo of this league, but flowing another mana. They got a Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual does cause a dig to work, and that's what this feels like to me. Yeah, we're dead. There's not much we can do here. I really had to hope that my opponent didn't have a dig here. Like Ancestral into dig is just too hard to overcome especially when I have zero interaction. My opponent doesn't know that, but regardless of how this league turns out, it was pretty fun. I don't recommend this deck to anybody, but like I felt like we were in pretty much every single game that we played. It's kind of remarkable, to be honest. And almost assuredly, we're not playing optimally. I mean, it's not a deck I gave a whole lot of thought to. I just loaded it up and off we went. I've played it periodically as a joke here and there, and never really done well with it. I do think I got 4-0 once with this deck, but lost my trophy match. But that's the best I've ever done with it, and of course would never have the fortitude to take it into a challenge. I just don't think it's competitive enough. Yep, that's exactly what they're doing. Okay, big dig. Yep, pretty frustrating. I mean, when you know you're playing against Lutri, you're able to not have to worry about playing around things because the likelihood your opponent has them is very, very low, given the nature of what we're playing. Just can only have one of each card. Assuming my opponent's going to go Dark Ritual into Doomsday here, but maybe not. Oof, that is savage. Okay, well that was really good. Hmm, okay. The fact my opponent has 8 minutes on their clock and we have 18 minutes is really frustrating. I've been pausing it as much as I can, but this is a horrendous experience. But this league went by really quickly up until this turkey here we're playing. Get a Tundra this time. Who knows? I mean, it's unlikely that they don't have a powerful hand post Ancestral and Dig Through Time, but it's possible that they're not powerful. Well, I came here to win. We'd have to get the one ring if this resolved. Obviously, Citadel would be better, but even if this resolves and we end up getting the one ring, uh, I'm not even sure what that accomplishes for us going into their next turn. Like, they can still just kill us. But we'll see. Still spinning tires over there. Okay. They have perfect information here. And I'm presuming they just cast it. No? Okay. They dumped a Doomsday here. Oh, so they've got the console kill. All right, guys. Well, listen. This was a lot of fun. Uh, as I said, I don't expect you to pick this deck up. It's pretty bad, but I will say it is a ton of fun, and it is competitive enough to be able to play Magic and Vintage. But obviously, the really what it comes down to is the lack of counter spells in the deck. You just are not able to play Magic against decks like this. And despite we made a couple competitive games, this one was not competitive. The other two were pretty good, but um, yeah, ton of fun. But of course, good hanging out with y'all. And remember, like, comment, subscribe, and we're gonna see you next time. Once my opponent actually concedes the match, or once they win the match, excuse me. Make sure that they remember to click the demonic consultation. Of course, I would naturally concede against anybody else, but someone who is 13 minutes behind on their clock does not earn any sympathy from me. Okay, bravo. My opponent did get it done. They spinning their tires far too long here. Okay, guys, see you next time.